Good morning and welcome. Gary here from GT Alaskan Adventures. Today's video is going to be about installing some bars on the back bed of my truck here. And it's from and manufactured by a company called BillieBars. And they make bars for all different applications for canoes, kayaks, hauling bikes, and rooftop tent campers specifically. That's the reason that I ordered my bars, and that's what they're going to be used for primarily. So BillieBars is makes really quality stuff. From what I can see from what I've received from them, the bars are very well built and sturdy. And the reason I went with them over all the other manufacturers out there is because they make bars that are compatible to keep your tonneau cover in place, and then they go under and mount into the bed of your truck, and you can still keep your tonneau cover. So with us doing the rooftop tent camping, or overlanding for those of you that like to call it overlanding, I want to be able to keep my tonneau cover and still have that dry storage, if you will, for all the stuff that we'll be hauling to go camping with. So and the reason I kind of wanted to do the video is because they have a lot of videos out there on their products, and I just didn't really see that one was basically specifically for my type of tonneau cover. So I have a Truxedo Truxport is the name of the tonneau, and they are still in business, still making tonneaus and still selling them. Mine, unfortunately, is probably almost 10 years old now, so it's still holding up pretty good condition. So I want to keep it and be able to utilize it for keeping my stuff dry. So I have a 2013 GMC Crew Cab 8-foot box. So I have an 8-foot bed, and one of the things that I had kind of reached out to BillieBars, and we emailed back and forth, and so my rooftop tent camper is actually a 4-person one. It's kind of a bigger of the range of the rooftop tent campers out there, and I kind of wanted it. I see a lot of videos out there where when the guys mount them, they have problems with their awnings on this side, which would be the back window side of your truck, where they can't get it out because the bars are the back of the truck is too close to the tent. So I reached out to them and took measurements and sent them in, and because these beds on GMCs, I guess, are skinnier in the front, or I don't know, one end is smaller dimension than the other. So they have bars that are specifically made for that truck, and they'll just cut them and send them to you. But I kind of wanted to locate mine a little farther back, if you will. So the back bar should end up pretty close to the back of the truck, and then the front bar should be, I don't know, somewhere in here. And with that, I'll be able to mount my tent on there, hopefully, and I'll be able to get that that awning out when the time comes. So they make different versions. I think they have a 5-inch version, and then they have an 8-inch version, which what that means is how tall it comes off the bed of your truck. So I went with the 8 because we have an annex. It zips into the overhanging part of the tent when it folds out, and so I wanted that to be high enough where it's not going to be all loosey-goosey and baggy on the sides. And then I also went with they make an extension that you can get that kind of mounts to the top of the bar, and you'll see all that in the video. Mounts to the top of the bar, and it gives you another 3.5 inches. So hopefully, with all that being said, I've only opened the tent up, and I've never really had the annex on there yet, so I don't know exactly how tall it needs to be. The worst case scenario, I might have to take some blocks with me and roll my truck tires up on the blocks to get me enough so I have that height. So, but I think I'm going to like the fact that it's only 8 inches, so you're going to be kind of close to not being way up in the air above the top of your cab. So you're going on the road, you're going to get a lot of wind resistance. So anyhow, hope they all work out, and just thought I'd do a little video and show you folks what they look like installed, and the kind of the steps that I go through to install them. So I hope you'll stick around and watch me put these on my truck, and thank you very much for coming along today. So inside the bed of my truck, you can probably see those mounts all the way down to keep the tonneau secure to your truck. So my thought process is I kind of like to just remove them mounts and keep the tonneau all intact, basically all Velcroed down. And then the idea is I'm hoping to put a winch in my ceiling up there, and that's going to be used for lifting my rooftop tent camper up off the truck and then setting it back down and mounting it to the bars eventually. But I think I might actually try that winch today and see if I can just kind of suspend this tonneau in the air. So once I get the bars on the truck and they're all mounted and located where they need to be, if you can see right here where the tip of that pencil is pointing, that's like a foam seal that comes with the Truxedo Truxport, and this is like aluminum rail above that. So when you mount it to inside your box, it pinches the seal down and it kind of forms a seal. It's not 100%, but it basically seals it up so the water doesn't get in your truck. So that will have to be, once I get the bars on there, the reason I want to keep this tonneau all in one piece is I'll be able to set it back down. Is in order for the bars to work, I have to remove like the width of the bracket. I have to remove that part of the seal, and I can seal it up with some thinner seal, but for the time being, in order to get it to set down right on the truck, that section will have to come out on all 4 of the brackets. This tonneau has been on here, like I said, probably 10 years. I vaguely even remember how I put it on here, so I guess we're gonna relearn how it goes. Okay, one clamp's off. Get going on taking the rest off, and we'll come back. So basically I thought it might be a good idea to kind of put some piece of tape on there to kind of locate it. So when it comes back off, or goes back on rather, I got my corners all taped, and with a black marker there, or magic marker, I kind of marked the corners, so hopefully that'll help with the reinstallation of the tonneau. Okay, so I just took some ratchet straps and went underneath the tonneau frame and the tonneau cover, looped them together, or put them together here in the center, and attached the winch cable to that. And I know you're probably thinking, Gary, is that going to work? I have no clue, so we're going to find out here. I definitely know it's going to swing towards the cab of the truck, so I'm going to have to kind of hold it, but let's give it a whirl, see what happens. Well, she's up. Not exactly how I wanted it to be, but we'll run some ropes off it, tie it off. Okay, so I just ran some 550 cord there, or whatever you want to call it stuff. 3 of the corners, so it just kind of, it'll hang there and hopefully be out of my way, and you can go ahead and start counting how many times Gary hits his head on it. So. All right, we're going to get bust into that box over there and see how these bars go on. Okay, so here we are. We got it all unpackaged, and this is what you get with your package. Is you get 4 of these brackets, and basically how they mount is just like that. So this would be, just like that. This goes inside of your bed of your truck. This goes across the top of the bed of your truck, and then your rails that you see here, there's 2 of them. They lay in that pocket and get fastened from the side. So 4 of these brackets, and then you get your 2 cross member bars, and you'll see, I don't know if you can see in the camera, but mine are, one's just a little bit shorter than the other one, and I had them custom cut them for me because my truck 63 is the measurement I give them across the front, and in the back it's actually 62 1/4. So like I said, my bed I guess is wider in the front, and then it tapers a little bit to the back. It's just the way GM makes their trucks, I guess. So you'll also get these little brackets, and I'll show that later, but these clip into the underside bed of your bed rail there, and then the bolts attach these brackets on there. And then you get a bag of hardware to mount your brackets and everything to your truck, and then there's other fasteners in there as well. At this point, I'm not really sure what everything is for. You do get a little special little wrench because they've got a, it's like a Torx bit with the little raised little part in the middle, so it's a kind of a unique tool to take them off, so hopefully they don't get stolen. And then these right here, kind of glued together, but these are those tent risers I was talking about. Those will go on top of these bars, and that gives me another 3.5 inches. So I'll have 11.5 inches, 8 plus 3.5, 11.5 inches of total height there off the bed of my truck. So, and you get a packet of this packet is labeled tent risers. So I'm assuming that's all the hardware to mount these tent risers. So anyhow, we're going to try to figure out where these need to go and start on getting them mounted in the truck. And once that's accomplished and they're in there, I will remove these top brackets and then very carefully lower this tonneau back down, mark where I need to remove the weather stripping, lift it back off there again, and probably utility cut that weather stripping out of there, and then once again lower it back down on the truck. So let's get to her. Okay, so here we are in the bed of the truck, and I'm going to start on the back one here. And so since I measured my bars to be, or give them the dimensions of 62 1/4, I've already kind of measured this out, and pretty sure that's kind of relatively where the bracket needs to be. So I'm going to just kind of temporarily mount it in there, kind of loose like, so I can still kind of adjust it, and then get the other side in, set the crossbar across in there, and just to see if I'm in the right location. So one thing to note on BillieBars as a company, they have a lot of really good instructional videos in their webpage. So I did actually have to refer to it because this bracket has a long side and a short side, and I was pretty sure the short went on the top, but I wasn't 100% positive. So you can always refer to their videos and see how that goes. So I laid all my hardware out. You got carriage bolt, a carriage bolt, a flat washer, and then a nylock nut. And that is 9/16 in size. So basically what you do with your bracket is come up under the lip of your bed of your truck there with your carriage bolt in there already. Like so. And just make sure that little bracket catches that lip underneath there. And then flat washer, and your nut, flat washer and your nut, and yeah, I'm going to grab the impact here. Okay, so just grab your impact, kind of support that underneath there so that bracket is catching the lip of your bed of your truck. Yeah, we'll just kind of tighten that by hand later. Okay, that one's on, and gonna put the other side on now. Okay, so again, carriage bolt times 2, short side under that bed rail. Couple flat washers. And your 9/16 nut. Make sure you got your cordless going the right direction. So I took a measurement on the other one, and it's roughly 16 from the back. And we're still looking pretty good. Yeah, it looks good. So I think I'll just snug it up by hand there. Again, I don't want these super tight, I just want them kind of located. All right, well, let's see if this bar fits now. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to leave that bar in there for tightening this down. So it looks like it's going to kind of tweak a little bit on that bed of the truck. So I'm not sure how that'll work out, but we'll snug her in there for now. My truck has a little bit of a lip right here. I don't know if you can see that. I'll kind of almost wondering if I won't need to put something behind that bracket to get it to, I got a feeling that tightening this is going to bring that bracket in. And it might not let that bar slip in and out easily. Get these snug here, and then we'll try lifting that bar out and see what happens. Make sure your carriage bolts are not Make sure they're in that little square socket. All right, let's try lifting this out. Yeah. No big deal. They do kind of bend out. I just have to push them out a little bit to get them in there. All right, well anyways, we got the first one in, and let's work on the front one. Okay, so we got everything in here. We need to mount the second set of brackets on the bar. I don't 100% know if this is the right location for that bracket, so like on the back ones, we're just gonna kind of fasten it in there and lightly sit the bar in there and see if it's in the right location. I kind of set it up where my tent is 6 feet overall. The way it mounts in here long, I guess you could say. And so I kind of had it designed, or asked them to cut the bars where I had them cut it in relation to where I wanted to mount it. So I'd have about a foot in from each end of the tent to be, you know, where I'd mount to the tent. So like I said, this is all new to me. I'm not sure if that's, I would think that would be sufficient support. To me, mounting it right out on the very edges of the tent didn't seem like it would give your tent that much support. So if you know more about this than I do, which I'm sure any of you that has one of these knows way more than I do, feel free to comment. Please be nice. All right, here we go. Too tight. I'm going to back that off a little bit. Yeah, there. We should be able to move it. And so we're going to reference from the front of the bed here. 32 inches is where I got that one, so I'm going to mount this other one at 32. Okay, looking good. Okay, so it's a little loose, so I can move it if I need to, and let's see how we did here. Any of you are wondering how many times I hit my head? I lost count. Okay, so that does not appear to be in the right location. So, where do we need to be, I guess? I'm going to pause this and See if we can find the magic spot. Okay, so I think what I was doing is I was leaving that bracket a little bit too loose, and was allowing it to kind of spread out on the sides. So I tried moving it, and then I tried tightening the bracket, and lo and behold, it was the bracket just being a little bit too loose. So she sits in there and looks good. I did pull off camera, check for square corner to corner, and I was off by about, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch. Nothing I'm going to worry about. And between the two bars, I'm outside to outside, I'm at 51 inches, so just a little over 4 foot, which again, the 10 is 6. So I think we're going to be good there. So I guess at this point, I am going to remove the bars, and we're going to go back to the winch and the tonneau and lower that down on here. Okay, so a bit of a struggle, but we got it back on the truck where it's supposed to be. Line the corners up with my tape. But if I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to say that simply by removing my weather stripping to around where these brackets are located to get it to drop down farther is simply not going to be enough, because I'm looking at more than a gap of what the thickness of that seal is right now. Now, I'm not saying that this is not going to work, because it will work. I will make it work. And it could have something to do with my tonneau has been on this truck for 10 years, so I'm sure that seal was probably a little more robust back in the day, and she's probably just squished down pretty thin. So I think what's going to have to happen is, for right now, I'm going to locate where I need to remove it, see how that looks, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to get some more camper top seal and add another layer of foam in there before I go to clamping this down. Okay, so I thought I'd just show it real quick here. I got the tonneau cover kind of propped up with a stick there basically. And once I hit it down on the bed of the truck where it was supposed to be located, I just put a little mark where I needed to remove the weather stripping. That's the actual metal rail right there, aluminum rail for the tonneau cover. And then back here is the, get this to focus, that's the other one right there, if you can see that. So after I got it cut out and sitting down on the bed of the truck, I really do truly think that if the seal was new, that it would probably seal up just fine by using the clamps and pulling the tonneau cover rails down. But I'm going to take extra precaution, and I'm going to put some new weather stripping on top of this, pretty much the same material. So as soon as the wife gets home, she's going to grab some for me, and I'm going to put that on there and get this project wrapped up, and I'll show you the rest of the journey. So okay, so I've actually moved my truck outside. Wife come home and brought me some camper seal stuff. So I took the tonneau off with her assistance and just laid it upside down on my floor here. So basically just going to go around and add another layer of this weather stripping to this seal, and kind of try to increase the height of that seal a little bit. So just going to go around and add a little section to here, trim it off where that bar is going to be. And then I'm actually going to apply a piece in between the bar where I'd removed a piece earlier. Probably could have just left that alone, but this is just a little bit thinner than the existing weather strip that was on there. So I think it's going to work better to capture that bar and not be so high. So anyways, we'll go around and do this, and I'll come back and show you it putting back on the truck. Okay, we got the weather strip added, and wife's gonna give me a hand. I gotta put this back on the truck. Go down a little bit. Okay, ready? So you should see them gaps there. See the gaps in the, look underneath on the weather stripping, you'll see those gaps. So it's got to line up in that slot. And so your little corner should kind of match on that blue line on the tape. Yeah, it's not on the right. It's not on the right. This is way off. What's your corner over there look like?
Looks good.
Okay, so from first appearances, looks like, let's see, put the clamps on here. It's gonna seal up nicely. And that's what I was looking for, so. All right, I'm gonna climb in the back here now and start putting the clamps on, so. Come back to you when that's done. Okay, so we got the cap all secured back down here with these clamps, and the weather stripping looks good. It sealed up nicely, so I'm pleased with it. So now we're gonna go ahead and try to put these bars on. Wow, that dropped in there. Nice. And this, there you go. Okay, just like that. And then we got some fasteners to put on there. These have that special Torx head thing. They give you a wrench for it. So you got a flat washer and then a lock washer. And yeah, we'll get it all bolted on and come back. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this video up. They're all installed, and I set one of these up here just so you could kind of see it. These are the tent riser brackets that raise it an additional 3.5 inches, so it'll get me at 11.5. Overall height of my tent will sit right on top of that. So they come with nice little array of mounting areas that you can probably dial in to fit your tent. So, and these have 4 holes on the bottom, and all that hardware was included to mount all that stuff. But all in all, I think they look pretty nice, and we'll do another video when it comes time to actually putting a tent on there, and I'll show the final product with the tent installed. So thanks for coming along today. Appreciate you watching. Hopefully it was informative for you. If perhaps you have this tonneau cover, it's a Truxedo Truxport is the brand of it. And yeah, other than adding a little bit of extra sealant or foam sealant tape, it turned out nice. I don't know if you can see or not. Try to zoom in there. It's nice and tight seal. Put a little strip on that. Can't really see it, but there's a strip on top of this bar here. So I think it's going to be good. So anyhow, thanks for coming along today. Appreciate y'all, and